Hi Cindy, thanks for sending me the video update. I'm really glad that you did so that we could assess what's going on. So, before we get into things to correct, I want to tell you about all the good stuff that I saw. Dumbbell is fantastic. I'm really thrilled to see how well that looks. That's really nice. He's holding it nicely. He's allowing you to have your hands on his nose and not look too upset about it. So that's really good. I would expect within a few sessions you should be able to start working on removing the hand from underneath his chin while he's holding the dumbbell. At first, as your hand goes away, it may cause him to start to drop it. If that happens, just gently push upwards on the bottom of his chin to reclose his mouth, and then again try to take the hand away. I don't think it'll take him very long at all to figure out how to just hold it by himself. The front box, I think you called it, I called it a platform. I really like that. I like platforms in general because the dog can't tell he's sticking anything out by feeling anything until and unless he falls off the side of it. So he looks like he's dealing with that really well. So good job there. I am delighted to see what a good job you're doing with watching his focus and not continuing when he loses it. I agree. He really looks like he is starting to understand what that means. And it's so cute, a couple of those times when he sat there and wasn't looking up, and so you didn't start, and he kind of looked a little puzzled, and then all of a sudden like he just snapped into looking at you. That was really cute. You are doing a good job of turning his head left when you feed him. I think you have analyzed the butt out problem quite well. It is mostly that you're still walking into him. So let's take a look at this. So you're standing there, and whenever your left foot goes forward, it looks pretty good, especially that one there. But now watch, see how straight in line with you his body is? Now watch what you do with your right foot. You put it all the way over in front of your left, and look what his butt does. Isn't it just amazing how subtle things can be to cause the dog to respond? And so then we'll keep going. You bring your left foot forward. It does not single track. It actually, there's a little bit of space laterally between your feet there, which is more how it should be most of the time. Although the first step was probably the best way, more like it should look. And then we get another single track. And here's something else I just realized. You are holding the food in your mouth visible to him. That should not be the case. We do not really want him looking at your mouth. We're storing the We're storing the food in the mouth so that you'll have ready access and then it will come from above. But I really don't want him focusing on your mouth so much. So you need to have a food that is something that you're willing to take completely inside your mouth. Okay, so you said yes, you're keeping walking, that part's good. And there, yep, the single track, and then, see, that's really more, when you take a step forward, your left foot should be going in its track, and your right foot should have its own track. They should each have their own track, just fairly close together. And then there, you fed him. And because of the way you had pushed him out, he ended up a little too far away. So, you turned his head to the left, but he's really wider than what we want him to be. I do think, though, that probably will get a whole lot better if we can get you working with a line on the floor. So, we're going to go on here. The next one is pretty similar. We get to see you stop because you lost his attention. That's really good. And you're right, that's what's pushing his butt out. We see the kind of the same thing again. There you're not single tracking quite as much, but it's still more than it should be. And then when you did this view of you going away from the camera, I noticed one other thing. And that is, now that I looked for it when you were coming towards the camera, I could see it, but it really popped out to me here. See how far twisted your upper body is? So that is part of what's causing you to drift into him, because your balance is going to be, you're going to be off kilter with your upper body and that left shoulder pushed so far back. Your shoulders should be square when you are heeling. You can turn your head to look at him, but you should not need to pull your shoulder back like you're doing here. Okay, so the assignment that I'm going to give you is I want you to find a line or make a line or draw a line in an area that you're going to work and do some work with the line. Oh, and one other thing, didn't mean to make that thing just yet. When you're going to go to the right, and you said in the text that sometimes you drifted into him because you were trying to make more room to go right. And I think this right here is one of them. Yeah, you really pushed into him. Oops. And then you did a restart because of loss of attention. You really pushed in so you had room to go right. But you would not have had to angle over like that if you just would have started over here. So when you know that you're going to go to the right, start as far over to the left as you can in the space you're going to work in, so that then when you go in a straight line, you've got plenty of room to turn and make that turn. Make sense? Okay, so food completely in your mouth, square up those shoulders, stand in a mirror and have him set up with you in a mirror and take a look at it and figure out. Square your shoulders and then figure out what you need to do with your head in order to be able to see him. Oh, and we talked about having you heel into and out of a mirror. Could be quite helpful for you too. It would help you to see more what he's doing without having to have so much direct eye contact with him. And let's see how that goes. And I think that's it. Okay. Let me get this analyzed and sent off to you.